Alright guys, so today we're taking a look at this tiny wing, the LDARC 450X V2. I reviewed the V1 about a year ago, and as far as I can tell, the only difference is this FPV canopy. So if you get the FPV version, I don't think this was available last year. It comes with this plastic canopy. Underneath here you have I think up to 200 milliwatt video transmitter. It comes with this antenna built into the canopy, and you have a micro camera here. I think it's a Runcam Microsoft 3, and canopy is just connected with some magnets. You can see here a little cable you can unplug right there if you want to just disconnect it. As you can see, it's a 20 by 20 video transmitter. There's another 20 by 20 spot here if you want to maybe attach a HD camera system like the Turtle or Runcam with a 20 by 20 board, and then you put your micro camera here, of course, if you want to record HD video. I just basically transferred over my receiver from the version 1. It's got the same flight controller board in here. Use the same 450 milliamp hour 2S battery. Now, because they're using a heavier material here in the front, with a camera in the front here and more stuff, they moved this motor in the back a little bit further with this little piece here that's on the FPV version, and that's to maintain the CG. The prop's the same, the servos and everything are the same on the bottom. Yeah, so it just weighs a little bit more because of the extra weight, and they just moved the CG back because of the for the motor. So I don't know if I tested out the flight modes on the version 1 or not, but they have flight modes in this one here, and you can arm and disarm the motor on channel 5 on your transmitter. Channel 6 is flight mode. There's like a mode 0, or the mode 1 is like self-leveling, and then mode 2 is just altitude hold, and you can actually do flips on rolls, and it has stabilization on those 2 modes. And then the last mode is all manual, so you do have to set up your rates and expo on your elevator and aileron. It's all built into the flight controller, so you don't have to do any special mixing in your radio. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how this flies line of sight first, and then we'll do FPV. So it's only about 20 seconds then for it to calibrate and level out. You'll see the elevons twitch up and down, and obviously it's disarmed. So once you arm it, you can raise the throttle about, I think it's over 50%, and it'll go into an auto launch mode, and then it'll just climb to like 20 meters, I believe. So now I'll go ahead. I don't think I tested it out last time, and it'll be in the beginner mode, so it'll self-level and maintain its altitude. It's a little bit windy here. Kind of see how this does. It does warn in the manual that you shouldn't fly this fast in the beginner mode, otherwise it'll start twitching and vibrating because it's too much for the flight controller. All right, I've armed it, and I'm going to raise the throttle. The turning radius in beginner mode is really, it's like doesn't turn very quickly. I'm gonna have to adjust my rates here. The turning radius is a little bit too little. So you can see it has basically self-leveling, and it will resist wind movements. All right, so increase the rate, so it should be able to turn a little bit tighter now. Just hands-off takeoff there. Oh, this receiver is not so great. Getting our RF signal low warnings. Alright, so I think doing FPV on this is probably not a good idea. We're gonna have to switch the receiver out. We'll just do line of sight for this video. And it flies pretty nice in beginner mode. Not sure about the altitude hold so much. It does do self-leveling. And you can see it just drops there, and that's mostly because of the limitations of the being a small wing. Yeah, I'm going too far away. I don't want to fail safe here. Yeah, I think I can see it shaking if you're going a little bit too fast. So I'm going to switch the receiver out, and then I'll be able to fly further away. So I'm going to probably have to come back here another time. And if you lose airspeed, it will drop pretty quick. And they want to keep it going into the wind. If you go downwind, it'll drop altitude pretty quick. You're going to have to keep up your airspeed. But this does seem to fly pretty fast. Alright, that's enough of this. Go ahead and land it here. Alright. Oh, the wind's pretty bad. So put an XM Plus receiver in here. Oh. It's quite breezy up here. It's getting bounced around quite a lot. This is not unexpected. I'm going to bring it down a little lower. I increased the maximum rates to 100%, and it's still in this beginner mode. It still turns very slowly, but then as soon as you go into medium rates or the intermediate mode, it goes to like the amount of throw you have on the elevons is huge. So I'm reluctant to go into that mode on FPV. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit here. A little dot down here. It looks like it rained. So it's kind of wet. I was hoping that it wouldn't be bouncing around as much, but it's so tiny and light. Any kind of breeze, you're going to get this kind of video, really. Let's try and go around the other way. A little lower now. It's not as bad. And there I am down here. This is downwind. Oh, not a lot of control downwind. So I did turn off the OSD on the RunCam camera because it's kind of useless. It just shows the voltage being supplied by the video transmitter, which is like 5 volts. Oh, this wind is really bad. Yeah, a little lower down here. It's not as bad as up higher, but it's bouncing around quite a bit. The video reception is okay. Did have to I increased the power and changed the video channel via the button. Those instructions weren't included in the box, but I was able to find the manual for it online. It's like the KKT VTX, 200 milliwatt VTX, and you'd have to use the buttons. I'll link the manual to the VTX in the video description. You guys can, it's pretty easy to follow. You just long press and for 3 seconds to get to the band, channel, and power settings. So not that big a deal, but you have to unscrew it from the canopy because the button's on the underside where it's not reachable, which is kind of a design issue, but I guess they had to put the antenna there, so. Okay, so I'm gonna land it now. I think our battery is already running out. I'm almost at full throttle here. All right. Turn it towards me. See if I can find a spot that doesn't have a lot of water. All right, here looks good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.